What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All the Things Sort of Truth, the alcohol-fueled chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with an aura of craft brew on the side.
Oh, that seems mystical.
Yeah, you can just pull it out of the air. It's fucking awesome.
That sounds amazing.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade.
And this week we're going to be talking about Chapter 4 of Stone of Tears.
Heck yeah, we are.
We are so glad to have you guys with us. Also, if you're a new listener, welcome. Thank you guys for coming on. I've been seeing the numbers, and more people are joining every week. So thank you guys for listening. Let's go.
I thought you were going to say, we'll talk to you real soon, which is, kind of the thing you say at the end.
Just end it. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Well, that's the show. See you next time.
That recording went a lot faster than I thought it was going to.
That's how you get it done. I don't even think we got to edit that.
No. The chapter opens up with Zedd helping Jeb to her feet, which, by the way, we are calling her Jeb from now on.
Yes.
And while that happens, he does make a comment to her about, putting his arms around a pretty woman, because he's already hitting on her. He healed her 5 seconds ago, and he's already like, that is a nice body I was touching.
That didn't feel too bad. Hey, what are you doing later?
You got a nice abdomen.
Not resting up from a vicious injury or anything like that.
Yeah, no big deal. And General Trimac is heading towards them as they are standing.
And she actually starts to do what her new job is. She reads auras. She can see a little into the future, right? But she can read people in a special way that other people can't. So she does this to him, and she can see that his aura is very, very faint.
And the only thing she can see about it, though, is, duty. He's, bound to duty. That's the only thing he cares about, really.
Now he might be able to have a little bit of pride in his work,
yeah.
Whereas before he didn't.
Yeah, with this new rain, he can maybe see a little bit of brightness on the horizon.
Yeah, you can be a good soldier for a bad fucking dude and not enjoy what you do, or you could be a good soldier for a good dude and enjoy what you do very, very much.
Yeah.
And know that, morally, you don't have to feel conflicted. You're doing your job, and you're doing a good thing, too.
Yeah. You could do a great job at your job and be, the awesomest awesome general ever, but, if you're doing really shitty things in that capacity, then you're really not that great of a person.
Yeah, or you're left unfulfilled.
Yeah.
Unhappy, which is actually kind of a theme in this book so far. This is the second person that we've seen that has, Jeb being the first, that's not fulfilled and is depressed every day, and you wouldn't know it, but these characters have magic and they can see that about a person.
Yeah, and I think that also speaks to the fact that they were ruled by who they were ruled by. The leadership of a country or a area can really set the tone for how all the people underneath feel. So that's interesting.
Okay. I think that speaks for itself. Moving on.
Yeah. So after asking if she's all right, he asks why she's still single. Because that's the natural progression of this conversation. He was hitting on her already. So he's like, hey, so why you don't got a ring on?
That's so weird in the middle of all this healing and stuff for him to glance over and ask about why she's not married. After she gets cleaned up and after everybody's taken care of, you guys are going to have a conversation. Maybe bring it up then.
Yeah.
Not in the middle of a bloody battlefield.
It's also a weird place to go. I don't know, she was a servant. Maybe she doesn't get off very often. Maybe she doesn't get off of work very often, to go and see people.
True.
I don't know. Maybe she does have a boyfriend somewhere and you're an old creep. Lay off.
Just because I'm not married doesn't mean I'm not seeing anybody.
Right.
And you're how old?
Hey, what are you fishing for? Are you trying to figure out if, I don't do the dishes every week and that's why you should maybe not hook up with me? What's your goal here? But she tells him that the reason that she's not married is because she's had visions of the men who did ask her to marry them, and they all cheated on her.
Yeah, she looked into the future and saw that they are all pieces of shit, And so instead of saying no, because that asks, well, how'd they take that? She's like, I didn't say no. I just slapped him fucking hard.
Which is funny, right? It's humorous, but it also makes me think, like, you're kind of an asshole because she herself said she couldn't understand all of her visions all the time. They didn't always come about in the way she thought.
Right.
And because you said no to them, their future actually is probably sleeping with other women. So had you said yes, you may have changed the future.
Whoa, you know what? I never even considered that. I figured she saw their life together and that he was with another woman.
As far as we know, she sees the truth as it's going to happen. Unless there's, like, weirdness, because the visions can be weird sometimes. But I would assume that she just fulfilled the requirements for the vision.
So by saying no, he went off, found himself another woman. And that's why she slapped him, even though he, doing that, wouldn't have done anything necessarily bad to her, because she already told him to go kick rocks.
Right. Potentially. I feel like there's a good case for her having slapped them for no reason and no fault of their own.
Oh, fuck. We've been together a long time. I want you to know that I'm serious about us. I love you, and I want to be together with you forever. And just slap. Fuck, if you're right, he was a good guy who had every intention of being faithful and still got the slap and a no.
Especially because she hadn't had those visions before that. So it makes total sense to me that them asking her and her saying no would be the reason that would happen.
That's a really good point. I had never considered that, and I really think there's weight to what you're saying.
She's cock blocking herself.
Oh.
Or wedding blocking herself. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, though, to see if Zedd is, like, laying off of her a little bit now, since we know she's not all about the cheating scenario.
Yeah. And I mean, Zedd's kind of having it thrown at him lately.
A little bit.
He's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't slap him just for hitting at her.
Right.
He does send her off to go rest, so we'll see how things go when he goes back to see her.
See you later.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you rest up. I'll see you later.
You a morning person? Why? Just wondering.
Just curious.
I'll let you rest for tonight. See you tomorrow.
Breakfast in bed. So, Zedd tells Trimac to get Lady Karen the fuck out of the palace.
Yep. She's got to go.
Yeah.
He makes a point here to use her entire name, which is Lady Ordith Condatith. See, I can't even do it. Lady Ordith Condatith de Didactovich. Oof. Nope.
Yeah.
That's my point, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Her whole name, I'm going to get this. Her whole name is Lady Ordith Condatith Didactovich.
Yeah.
Yes. And with a name like that, how much do you want to bet that she makes people say the whole thing every time?
Well, why wouldn't you?
Excuse me? My name is Lady Karen. All that other stuff.
Yeah.
After that. The whole thing.
Her name is Lady Ordis blah, 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 and her game is Karening. So
she's a hyphenate. It's that dash Karen.
Yeah. So after that is established that bitch needs to go.
Her and anybody else like her.
Yeah. Zedd and Trimac decide that they're going to plan a lockdown, knowing full well that some people are not going to be, like, a huge fan of this idea.
Right. It hasn't happened in a few hundred years, but they deem it necessary. Yeah. They know that it's going to cause a stir. People aren't going to be thrilled with it, but they know it's the safest thing to do. And really, it is. They have an enemy from within. Could come from anywhere. And they need to be able to figure out where the issue could be. On top of that, Richard is a new master.
Yeah.
Not everybody is thrilled about this.
Yeah.
And they don't know if there's another, like, internal threat. You know, obviously the Screeling came out of the Garden of Life. Half of the soldiers we know aren't fans of Richard being the new guy.
Right.
So they are just trying to, like, slow the amount of people coming in or going out, really.
Which is, by the way, like a giant pain in the ass, which, I mean, we're all kind of dealing with right now. Like, it's a pain in the ass for the people who generally come to the palace and conduct work and just, like, their daily lives, and the people who live in the palace who have to do that and, like, filter through everybody. Like, it's a huge pain in the dick. I don't know. I think that it seems like it's something that would take a very short amount of time if everything went the way it was supposed to. But you have to imagine that people are going to be resistant, and it's going to take longer because it's a bigger situation than you think it is. Like, it's a bigger picture than what you initially think it is.
Right, exactly.
And, I mean, like I said, we're all dealing with this right now. They say, you know, if everybody follows suit, this can only go on for, like, a short period of time.
Right.
They could, like, filter through everything, and things could go back to normal after we sort shit out. But complications breed complications. And so, like, when people fight about it, they keep extending it. I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, it's a very similar type of situation. If you dig your heels in and fight, it's going to be more difficult.
Right. And especially for Richard and them, because they are just trying to find anybody who may be a threat. Right. So if they're trying to do that and you're the person acting up, you become the threat, dude.
Even if
and then you're gone. Right. Even if you weren't trying to be the problem, you're kind of being the problem. Right. And then you got to go.
And most times, this wouldn't be necessary. You could just live your life and it would be totally fine. But there's an active threat.
Right. Even if the active threat doesn't technically threaten you directly, somebody else still is trying to deal with this problem.
Have some sympathy.
You know? Yeah.
So, moving on from that fun topic, also, this is a super awesome chapter for some of these topics. Zedd tells Trimac that he's going to have to get Richard to trust him if he ever shows up before Zedd comes back, because there's a chance that Richard is just going to pop up anywhere. We never know what he's doing. So Zedd tells Trimac that he's going to have to get Richard to trust him if he ever shows up when Zedd isn't there, because, you know, Richard just likes to pop up anywhere he pleases. He can do that by telling Richard that it's the Toasted Toad's truth. That's their secret little code from their childhood, from Richard's childhood anyways. It's kind of funny that Trimac has absolutely zero hesitation about dying for anybody who's in charge, but he's got a problem with saying some silly shit to prove that word came from Zedd.
I mean, he does come around and he says it, but it was just weird to me that's where he hesitates.
That's where he draws his line.
You want me to cut that dude's head off, smash it on a pike? You want me to take 1,000 guys and just run off the edge of a cliff? I'm down, but that's a silly word.
Can you picture me in the middle of a battlefield screaming that into the Lord Rawl's face? Sounds like a good time.
This is for the Toasted Toads!
So, Zedd tries to tell Trimac that you have power over everything, you just fucking handle it, okay, bro?
Yeah.
You can tell the soldiers that you don't like to take off, you can tell the people in the palace you don't like take off, the ones you do like, bring them forward, you don't do it all. I don't need to be involved.
Right.
And Trimac's like, that's cool, but you have to sign these orders. I can't do it by myself. You're the magic against the magic, so my word really means nothing if it's not undersigned by you.
Yeah. In Dahara, the way things are done is the people with magic are in charge. Now, this is something that was going on in the Midlands, we know, before. The wizards were in charge, but they didn't think it was right that they had all the power, and so they had all the power. They let the people govern themselves, and they were there as kind of a overseeing body, but not really in charge.
I think that they caused a lot of trouble when they were in charge, and then they stepped back in order to just help out instead of having the power.
Right. That's what the Wizard Wars were about.
Right. And that's why Zedd is like, this is fucking dumb. On top of the fact that I just don't want to do it, I think. He's like, I shouldn't have the power. It's not my place to tell you how to run things. I shouldn't be in charge of that. But cool. Put the papers on my desk.
Right. And furthermore, because Zedd, he's basically telling this guy, I have no idea what's happening. I don't know why it's happening. I'm actually on my way out, too, to figure out what I can do about any of this. And I imagine that's got to be pretty unsettling for Trimac, for him and his men. You know, they rely on that magic.
Yeah.
And they rely on Zedd to handle the magic of other people. So they're the steel against steel. They have nothing against the magic.
Right. You and Lord Rawl are supposed to handle this kind of shit. Like, anything crawling out of the underworld is strictly your field, okay? It's not mine, it's yours.
Ooh, that's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
You didn't say ghosts, motherfucker. That's your job.
So maybe